As you know, here on the channel, we are huge fans of the Racing Champions Fast and Furious diecast cars. We have a ton here in the collection, whether that be sealed products, whether it be loose, whether it be 164 or 118, and even a few things in between. We love all of it. And today we are going to be adding a couple more pieces to the collection with some that we have been looking for quite a while. We got the diorama set up. We are going to head down, crack in, and start showcasing some cars. That is right. Today is an exciting day, and you know it's a big day when we bust out one of the Fast and Furious dioramas. This is the ArcBox 64 Toretto's Cafe that we unboxed a couple months ago. But the big important piece here, we have another Racing Champion Fast and Furious 5-pack. This one has a couple pretty sweet cars in it, and some that I believe are exclusive to the 5-pack, which would be like this Dark Horse Ford Focus. And then we have the yellow RPM Supra. We have this crazy livery Jetta, and then along with a Evo. The Evo might come in a couple other things, but I think these three middle cars are exclusive to this 5-pack. And then we also have another version here of Dom's RX-7. This is a super nice piece. It is a little yellowed. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but we are going to be cracking this open. I know this is some old, really cool Fast and Furious stuff, but you know I have my big loose collection, and there's some cars in here that I would really like to add to it. And I did pick this up on eBay. I saw it and basically instantly bought it. And they did send a awesome letter, and it sounds like all of these cars in this collection were the kids' fathers, and none of the kids were really into diecast collecting. So I think they made a whole eBay store to sell all of his stuff. So they have like a really nice note, and they threw a free card in there that I will be passing off to my son, which I'm sure he will love cracking open. But hopefully the seller knows that these cars are going to one of the best homes here, especially for Fast and Furious. They will be very well taken care of and appreciated and showcased here on the channel. So without further ado, we are going to crack into this 5-pack. All right, we zoomed out here even more just to give me a little more space. I do have two of these 5-packs over on the wall. The blisters are in pretty good condition. But yeah, like I said, this one is yellowed. I was looking at picking up that Supra. There was one online for sale. It was just the loose version of that yellow RPM Supra, and I think they wanted like $90 just for that Supra. And I picked up this whole sealed 5-pack for $70. So I think that was a pretty good deal. All right, this thing was putting up a little bit of a fight. So interestingly enough, there was another one of these exact same 5-packs for sale on eBay, and I think they had it listed for $220, which is wild. I'm telling you, the secondary market for Racing Champions is like the wild, wild west. People have things posted for just whatever they want. There's single cars posted for $900. It's just, people are crazy. I think they're just trying to see if they can basically catch someone and just get someone to pay a ridiculous price for some of the cars. You have to be very patient and hopefully find, some good sellers who are, willing to let things go at a reasonable price, which I think 70 for this was a really good deal. Yeah, I was super happy with it. So first car here in the 5-pack, we have Dom's RX-7. We have a couple of these in the collection already. I actually drilled and wheel swapped one, which was kind of fun. But yes, a very cool one. You can see we will add it here to the diorama. And next, this one is another rare one. Like I said, just because I think it only comes in this 5-pack here, but this is the Ford Focus SVT and this thing is wild. It also is huge. I have another Ford Focus from the series that's orange, and it is equally huge. So I don't know if I'm going to put these in the Mascar display with the others, just because the size discrepancy is pretty crazy. I mean, if you look, what's the best way to tell? Like, just head on there. I mean, like Dom's RX-7 like barely comes up to the bumper on it. So pretty wild here. But this, like I said, still is a fairly rare one to find. And next up here, the main car that we wanted. Let's see if we can get it out here without causing any problems. And that is the yellow RPM Performance Supra. Has the Fast and Furious logoing on here. Has the target top off. All the yellow interior. Then got the Toyo tires and the RPM up front. Very nice. So you can see there's a couple different variations of the Supras. You can see Paul Walker's Supra back here. It has like the big like APR wing on it, where this kind of looks more like maybe like a TRD wing. And then other differences, it seems like the one that has the different spoiler on the back also has like a silver intercooler poking through the bumper up front. And this one just kind of has the black. But yes, this is really cool. NOS logoing. So I always thought I had this one, but there is just a plain yellow Supra also. So I think that was why I was like, oh, I already have that one. And then I went and looked, and I didn't. And since I was blabbing about it, I figured I would head on over and grab it. So you can see this has like the same hood as Brian's Supra. So yeah, there's all these are just slightly different. This has like different color steering wheel. So, I mean, these were super cool cars for back in the day. So this has like the, you can see the painted racing harnesses in there. No racing harnesses painted here. Just a lot of really small, subtle differences. And the last two cars here, one is this crazy looking Jetta. I don't even know what is going on with the livery and like the color scheme on here. This thing is wild. But this is a cool one because it does have the Fast and Furious logoing on there. So a lot of people, as I've mentioned in other videos, they do try to collect all the Racing Champions cars that have just the Fast and Furious branding written on them, which there are quite a few. But look, this even has a green steering wheel, has like some weird spaceman shooting his space laser. This thing is wild. Got that like just that purple, green, yellow, orange. Yeah, this thing is pretty crazy. And then last up, we have a Evo, which I honestly don't know too much about, but dang, does it look pretty good. These wheels look awesome. And this also has the Fast and Furious branding on there. You can see the paint has a little bit of a flake to it, which is cool. You got the tribal, or kind of, is that tribal or flames? Kind of like going up the hood and onto the roof there. Some nice details on the inside. These wheels do look really nice though. The plastic wing, the full exhaust. So I went and grabbed Brian's Evo from Too Fast, Too Furious, so I was just curious to compare. So pretty sure it is the same casting. I was more curious about the wheels. So they do look very similar. It's almost like the white paint or whatever plastic it was molded out of. It's just way thicker. This would be nice. These wheels would look really good on this Evo. That is tempting, but I think this is a pretty rare car to come by too. So definitely don't want to be stealing the wheels off of this one. But yeah, like I said, I really wanted this RPM Supra. I'm trying to get all of the Supras here, and you know, instead of buying it separate, I just figured I would buy this whole 5-pack because there were other cars in there that I didn't have that are very cool ones to add to the collection. And there we go, a few more awesome Racing Champions cars added to the collection. This RX-7 was actually another one I picked up off eBay. It was just a loose find, that just another one I thought I had it or didn't even know it really existed, and I saw it and realized I didn't have it. So man, even after all these years and all the cars that we have got and checked out and cracked open here, crazy to still find some that we don't have. And as you can see, even though these Racing Champions cars are 20 years old, more than 20 years old, they still hold up very well. Even in front of this brand new diorama, the cars look absolutely killer. All the good movie accurate details. These cars just create such a cool scene, just like you would see in one of the Fast and Furious movies on the street race or at Race Wars or something like that. Just so cool. I know I've set these up a couple different times with some other dioramas, and they just look so good. I have probably 70 different Fast and Furious Racing Champions cars, so I need a pretty big spot to do a really big, like, full showcase car show. So you have to let me know if that is something you'd be interested in. That is a video I would be more than happy to make, is to get all the cars out and set up a huge Racing Champion Fast and Furious car show. But thank you all so much for stopping by, tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this upload. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.